Okay, so this website is another coding type website called Ozobot, and this actually does require, most of the time, you to have a little robot with markers. It runs on color. There's a couple different ones. I don't actually have one. However, there are websites, not websites, but there are activities on this actual website. I didn't go to the lessons. There's Blockly challenges and there's at-home activities. And this end probably is more for older students. And Ozobots run on colors, not any kind of coding like you would see on code.org or anything like that. However, it's still a problem-solving type thing. So when you go to the Ozobot simulator, it uses code similar to code.com or code.org. And this right here would be your Ozobot simulator. And again, it's similar to the code.org type coding, where you're clicking the movements and the different things that you want it to do. Just play with it, see what it does. And you can add light effects. You can set it to wait a few seconds or not. And once you click all your code together, you run it. And your Ozobot is going to do exactly what you have put down here. And it kind of went off screen, but I should move it over. I'll reset it. That way, if I move it, I'll move it over here. I guess the screen, maybe because, oh, you can make the screen bigger or smaller. So I couldn't figure out why it was going off the screen before. So this is essentially what I have coded my Ozobot to do if I had a real Ozobot. Now, if I was being serious about it, you know, I would count each of these. This is probably more likened to what a young child would do. Just have the Ozobot do all kinds of goofy things. I'm just going to add all these things in here, and my Ozobot is going to go nuts. And don't young kids just love that? Because they've, you know, but if their reading skills are up to par or they're listening to directions, things like that, it's going to do what it's told them to do. And you can see over here in the corner, it's flashing lights depending on what I've asked it to do down here. So that's a little bit about some of the simulations and things that you can do at home. Now, some of the actual lessons that, and there's other ones that you can definitely do. There's other ones. There's Shape Tracer 2, and Ozotown. So there's other Ozoblockly challenges. And then there's actual, for the educator side of things, there's actually lesson plans from the community that actually give you ideas about how to introduce them into the pre-K to 1 and 2 settings so that they are using them effectively and using them the right way. The one that I chose was the Identify the Beginning Letter Sound. Now, this gives a little breakdown of the actual lesson plan and what it actually is simulating. That's the image, so we want the PDF actually. I know I pulled the PDF up here somewhere. Here it is. And essentially what's going to happen is the students are going to go around the picture. And this is a multimedia type of lesson, or a multimodal lesson. So what the kids are going to do is they're going to match these color codes to the picture that they see on the track. So the Ozobot is going to then go around. Once the kids find the letter, like this is F for flower, and over here is the code for the F. So they're going to color the blue, green, red. And they're going to do that for all the letters. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures here and 6 codes. And the students are going to use their markers to color in those codes in this printout. And the Ozobot is going to go ahead and trace around it. And this looks like a preschool classroom. This might be a kindergarten classroom, but this definitely looks like a preschool classroom. And that essentially is what the Ozobot is doing, is it's flashing lights. It's doing whatever the codes have been set for it to do. And you can download the full lesson plan. Students will identify the beginning letter sounds, and students will complete the Ozobot color code. Students will place the Ozobot on the track and identify the Ozobot movement. So this is beginning coding. So they're only using markers and to color the codes. Now, aside from the other things that the kids are doing, is this is stretching their problem-solving skills. This is also testing their beginning letter sounds. So this is a little bit more. This is a little bit more than just watching a robot go back and forth on the screen. So this is one of the lesson plans that's on there. Another one that I really liked was this My Community Story, and this one has examples of what the children are doing. Now again, these kids are drawing really big pictures, and this is for pre-K to 1. So, and they're still intermixing their gross motor skills, their large motor skills with their arms, and their gross motor skills with their, with their large arm movements, and their fine motor skills with the Ozobot, because the Ozobot is only about 1/4 size. So these are some of the lesson plans that you can use. Now, I started at preschool because that has been my experience in the past, is preschool. And again, this is ELA, which is generally my subject area. Here's other ones where it combines Legos and Ozobots, tracing shapes, and then introducing Ozzy, the Ozobot. Dragons Love Tacos, there's an ELA one. A STEM lesson. Are You My Mother? Another ELA lesson. So it Ozobot alphabet, so it's another form of coding and letter recognition, things like that. And all of this kind of intermixes ELA with other subject areas anyway, especially at the pre-K, kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade level, where things are integrated anyway. So there's a few really neat things that introduce children to problem solving with robots and introduce them to coding and robotics. So that is a really interesting type of robotics, or a type of technology to introduce young children to. They love to play with things. And it also has different pace lessons for different age children. So this can go all the way up until secondary grades. So that's what's really kind of neat about it. The block lead challenges, this is going to be a little bit more, some of the activities require you to have another device or an iPad or an iPhone. But some of the, like the simulator, here's some of what the simulator looks like. And like you can see here, this child is actually coding the right way, not the way that I was doing it earlier, but it's actually for younger grades, like 2+. So there's definitely a lot of activities on there that can be utilized. But I think the best place to start probably would be using the devices, and it even tells you how to pair them and what devices you will use. So as far as I know, they're pretty economical, and you can get them at a pretty cost-effective way. Just try not to lose them because they're so small. But that is a little bit about Ozobots.